Hi, I'm Ilsa. I'm an educator for Line 1.
And I'm Isabel, and I'm also a Line 1 hair educator.
And today we're here with Gretchen Adler, and I'm so excited. She's one of my favorite follows on Instagram, and I'm even more excited to work with Isabel on this. And we are going to be doing her Keratin individuals.
Hi, my name is Gretchen, and I'm the gal behind women's health and lifestyle brand Gretchen. My mission is to inspire others to take back their kitchens and to make homemade foods from scratch using real quality ingredients.
Okay, we're gonna start Gretchen's application now. So we split the head into 4 quadrants like we do if we're doing a double application. I'm gonna start on the sides and then Ilsa is starting in the back. We're using colors 29, 32, and 34. So with individuals, you actually don't reuse them, but they last for 3 months. So you apply them, they last for 3 months, and then we do removal and a new set after that 12-week mark. It's really nice though because you don't have to come into the salon for any maintenance in between. With other reusable methods like wefts or tapes, you have to come into the salon every 6 weeks to get them moved up. So it's really nice with the individuals. You just put them in once and then kind of set it and forget it.
So typically I actually rebond my hair. So like
okay.
I have the keratin and I rebond it. So I reuse them. Like, can you reuse them? Like, are they still gonna look, like they're still gonna like look pretty good?
That's such a good question.
It's really possible. We just typically don't.
Yeah, I actually used to put my mom's and my sister's extensions in.
Oh
No
my
way.
God.
Okay, we're in the room with a hairstylist
Yeah.
too.
I've just like learned how to do it online.
This was Hair Homestead also.
So
I don't know if I'm supposed to share that they have extensions.
Well, they definitely look so undetectable, no one would even know. Gretchen likes her hair a little bit fuller, so I'm doing the first 3 bonds as full-size bonds, and then as I approach the hairline, I'm gonna start using the small bonds to match her density.
and in the back, I'm doing all fine bonds on her first row.
So are the bonds like different sizes, or do you guys cut them to make them smaller?
We customize them and cut them down to make them small. That's what I love about individuals especially. You can really customize them in every degree.
How long have you been wearing individuals?
I mean, I've been like on and off, you know, depending on how I feel, but I started wearing them probably like, I don't know, 20 years ago?
That's awesome.
Sounds like a really long time. How old am I? 30? Yeah. No, not 20, maybe, yeah, something like that. 18 or 19.
now.
Yeah. But there were a few years where I would like go without them, you know?
Have you worn any other types?
Yeah, I have. I've tried tapes. I've tried the weft. I hated the weft.
You make your way back. Wefts are so hard because they really have to be placed so perfectly. I feel like for people to enjoy them, especially people that are used to individuals because they're so different.
It just felt really heavy. And I always had matting underneath my hair,
Really?
like crazy matting. Yeah. So I just felt like it was just so hot, all that hair. And then the tapes, they were fine, but I feel like they're more noticeable when they start growing out. And that gets pretty annoying.
And it's a little bit more maintenance too. We were just talking in the back and we're really curious what your thoughts are. If we're working like a 10-hour day, you're so exhausted, you get home, the last thing you want to do is cook sometimes. And it's so easy to go for those like really quick, like either a frozen meal or like something super quick that's maybe not the healthiest, but what do you feel like are kind of like easy ways to start transitioning more healthy alternatives into your lifestyle, especially if it's busy?
I think that leftovers are a huge time saver. And so you can make a bunch of food in one go. So like you can slow cook a piece of meat, a big piece of meat, which takes a few hours to cook, and it's actually like a more economical way of buying meat as well, as opposed to buying a steak. So it's an economical piece of meat, it's a lot of meat, and you cook that on like a Saturday or a Sunday, and you'll have meat for the entire week. So then you come home at night and you just take a piece of that, heat it up on the stove, or eat it cold if you don't feel like heating it up.
So it's just like a little more time one day.
Yeah, and it doesn't even really take any time. It takes like 5 minutes to put it in a pot and sear it and put some water in the pot and then put it in the oven, and then you just don't think about it.
Totally.
And then you can like pair that with like a piece of avocado, or you can have like arugula that you can buy pre-washed from the grocery, add that with some olive oil and vinegar. So you have like a salad with meat.
Even that, like if I got home at 9 p.m. from work and that's what I had waiting for me, I would be so happy with myself.
So happy, and I probably feel so much better the next day.
What do you guys eat, honestly? Like I don't even know what people eat if it's not homemade. So.
I mean, a lot, it depends. There's days where like I'll just order something on the way home where I just can't imagine cooking something for myself. But like if I have the time, I really enjoy to make something fun, like, you know, like if I make homemade pasta or whatever it is, but sometimes it's just so much easier to order something that's gonna come really quickly.
Totally. And like saves the cleaning and everything. That sounds so lazy, but truly I feel like it's really normal to work 10 plus hour days when we're in here. Maybe not like less than 5 days a week, of course, but really long days lead to me not wanting to clean or cook.
No, I know cleaning's annoying. But yeah, I mean, if there's a day that you don't work, I would just recommend making a few things in larger quantities so that you have them in your fridge and you can just like take them out when you get home at night, you know?
Totally.
I always say like it takes me less time to make something quick than it does to like take the time to order it and like have it arrive at my house. And I feel better too. I feel better too.
Like you get to eat faster in the end.
And you feel better. Don't you feel sometimes when you eat like these takeout meals that you're just like, oh.
Yeah. Outside of like traditional cookware in the kitchen, like outside of a oven, stove, etc., like not including microwave, like what other ways do you like to cook food? Like should I get a crock pot or like anything like that?
Yeah, I would recommend I don't use a crock pot just because I don't really, like I'm never away from my house all day long, you know? I can like, I'm like in and out throughout the day. So like a Dutch oven for me is fine. I just put that in the oven. But if you're not gonna be there, I would definitely recommend a crock pot because that's even easier. You just put the meat in and water and maybe some vegetables, turn it on and you leave all day long and you come home and you've like got a hot meal. And you have like a lot of leftovers too. So that's definitely the way to go.
That is the way to go. And I am not somebody that like doesn't like leftovers. I really actually almost sometimes like leftovers more than even the day that I cooked it.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I feel like leftovers are different. Like if they're takeout leftovers versus homemade leftovers, then like it's gross if they're takeout. You're like, oh,
really are.
I don't want that. Then you appreciate it more too. You want to eat it.
Yeah.
It's sort of just like breaking a habit too, and just like getting comfortable with something new, and then like you'll feel uncomfortable not doing that.
Absolutely. It really is like such a habit. I even like saw on your page how like, you know, fast food and everything is like meant to be addicting. And so how would you say like the best way to cleanse that out of your system is?
I mean, I'm like a no tolerance policy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cold turkey.
Like say no.
Yeah.
I think that's what you have to do because like the thing is if you have these, say like these pantry items that are like convenient foods in your pantry, in your fridge, in your freezer for like a rainy day, I feel like you'll be lazy one night and then just be like, well, I've got this, I'm gonna eat this. And then that's how you never like get into like a regular habit of doing it the right way is because you just always resort to the easy, quick, convenient way. But things can be quick once you get them into your routine and once you like realize that they're a lot easier than you thought, you know?
Yeah.
Once they become part of your habit.
Gretchen likes to have a little bit of flexibility with wearing her hair up. So we are going to place this 4th row kind of just above the parietal ridge, and then I'm gonna take everything down and check it and see if I need to put any more higher, but we're gonna try to keep them as low as possible while still keeping it really full. A really common question that we get is about your color pattern and where to use which colors in an application. So what I like to do is place 2 of my lightest color right in the front. That way I'm pushing brightness towards the face just like how you would in a highlight or low light application. Now that I finished the front, I went ahead and smoothed everything out using my Hair Beyond Straight, and I'm really happy with the way that it's blending, so we're gonna go ahead and switch sides. We can always put a couple a little higher and closer if you want, but I kept them a little bit lower so that you'll still have that like flexibility with putting it up.
Yeah, I always want to put like these forward for sure and like maybe like 2 clips here.
So. Okay, cute. Yeah, totally. And then once we cut it too, this will like completely blend all the way in, so you'll probably be perfect with that.
So you've truly been one of my favorite follows on Instagram for so long. I think that you bring such like just a genuine positive force to what you do, and just you've personally empowered me to like really get back in the kitchen and pay more attention to how I'm nourishing my body and my family's body. I think like even for me sometimes I feel a little bit intimidated. Like if you were to give someone one tip of like how to improve how to improve nourishing your body, what is like one thing that you would say, like start making this from scratch first, or like this might feel doable for you?
I mean, my number one tip is always, and it might sound extreme, is just to remove the ultra processed foods from your house and from your diet. And really say no to those foods, because those are just foods that are filled with chemicals, ingredients that are made by food scientists. They're created to addict you and to make you want to have more of them, and they're not doing anything for the health of your body. They're not nourishing you. They're really taking away from your health, and that is why we have a chronic disease epidemic in our country today, is because the majority of our diets is ultra processed foods. So I would purge my home of ultra processed foods, and then really look at starting clean and fresh and filling your home with real ingredients. And that can be as simple as putting in your freezer some cuts of meat, slow cooked beef. So like these are your economical cuts of red meat, and you can do a whole chicken. You can put that in your freezer, and then you can fill your pantry with things like onions, garlic, high quality salt, and then of course in your fridge you have your quality vegetables that you can get from a local farmer's market, or you can go to your grocery and look for organic produce, and just start there and start testing different recipes that you may like, and just getting your hands dirty in the kitchen and seeing what works for you.
That is one of your reels that really inspired me, is one that I saw of you like cleaning out everything and just like what you keep in your pantry, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. So like I really have done that, and everything you just said I have in my house. So like if I get home from work and I'm super like stressed and tired, I'll just like make, you know, a quick like onion garlic saute and like throw meat in, and I'm like, wow, like she is right, you actually can like cook home cooked meals quickly and have it on hand. One of the things that I struggle with is like snacks, and like not to say like store-bought, but like what are some like easy things I can keep in the pantry if I'm like starving before I cook dinner, or just like easy like grabbing things that I can keep to like nourish myself but not necessarily like cook?
I always look at having protein, because protein really satisfies you, and we need more protein anyways in our diets. So I like to have canned sardines in my pantry, and one of my favorite brands is called Fish Wife. I don't know if you've had that one before, but it's delicious sardines that taste amazing. You can eat them straight out of the can. So that's just like a high protein snack or lunch that you could have. I also like to have raw cheese on hand, and so you just cut a cube of raw cheese, and that's high in protein, high in quality fats from pasture-raised cows. And then of course the basics, like you can have your sprouted nuts on hand, you can have like carrot sticks, cucumber, but really I think if you're eating these satiating foods during the day, you're not gonna like feel like you need to snack as much, because you are satisfied eating these real foods.
I think that we should make our own merch, and I think it should be Hot Girls Eat Sardines. My husband's British, and so he actually does do that, and I don't know why, they're just like intimidating to me. But I'm gonna do it. My husband's gonna be so mad, because I'm gonna go home and eat them and be like, Gretchen told me to eat them. He's gonna be like, I've been telling you to eat these for 10 years.
Yeah, so get the Fish Wife brand and get the ones that like with the hot red chilies.
Okay.
It's delicious.
I'm gonna do it. I'm inspired. I wanna know how to sprout my own nuts.
Okay, so sprouting nuts is really very basic. You take your nuts, put it in a bowl, fill it up with, filtered water, and then throw in some unrefined sea salt. Let it sit overnight or for a day. You can even let it sit longer. And then you rinse it off in a colander, and then you can eat the nuts as they are if you want. And then if you want to keep them in your pantry so they're shelf stable, you would just put them in your oven. I have a dehydrator function, so I can keep them raw by dehydrating them at 125 degrees Fahrenheit. Most ovens won't go that low. I think the lowest temperature is like 175, but you can use the lowest oven function and you will be able to make them crispy. They just won't be raw anymore if you cook them at a higher temperature. You can also buy a dehydrator.
That sounds delicious. I'm gonna do it.
And easy.
So easy. We can do this, guys. We're gonna be like Gretchen Adler. I think that just in general, your mission is like just so inspiring to others. Like the girls and I were talking, we're like, we can do this. Like we can eat healthier foods. I just think like you get caught up in the rat race of like, I'm so busy and I can't do this. But I think watching you has like really brought back the enjoyment. I'm like, oh, it's actually like really relaxing to be in the kitchen. And I feel like really, it sounds like cheesy, but I feel like confident and like so proud of myself when I make my own food and I'm like giving my family nourishing meals. I'm just like, yes, you just like feel so good. It's like such a sense of pride. So for someone like me, like I try to go to the farmer's market as much as I can, but like if I can't in a pinch, like where would you recommend shopping for basic stuff? Like is there any companies you like getting meat from if you didn't have your own? Or like I think eggs is also like a really big concern for me because even the organic ones at the store, I'm like, they're not orange, like it doesn't look as fresh as it should. Like
Yeah, I mean, I think it all depends on where you live. I'm able to go to a grocery store near me called Jimbo's, and they actually they source from farms. So I'm able to get eggs there that are corn-free, soy-free eggs. So if your store has eggs that say corn-free, soy-free, pasture-raised, I would say that's an amazing option. And I buy those myself. I also have my own chickens, but they don't give us enough eggs. And then I also, I source from my parents' farm in Ohio, but I would recommend finding a farm that can ship to you, or a farm that's local and nearby that can, ship locally. That you just have to do a little bit of research and find out who's near you and who's farming with the right techniques and the right methods, regenerative farming, and then start ordering your meats from that farm.
amazing. Well, I look up to you so much and we are so happy to have you here today. So just wanted to thank you for your time and just for inspiring all of us. We're such fans and we are just so thankful for all the awesome content you put out and all the recipes and just all the like true positivity you bring to us.
Thank you. You're very kind, and I really appreciate you having me here as well.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for Gretchen's Transformation. We had so much fun doing this and teaching you all about individual extensions.
I had so much fun doing this with you as always. I really enjoyed getting to know Gretchen in person, not just online, and I hope you guys tune in for our next YouTube video.